Former mob boss Michael, pictured here, preaches on a healthy fear of eternal damnation, saying that we need to talk about hell and wrath a little more. This is Michael. He's a second-generation Mafia member, born in New York, who was raised in the crime family and, along with his father, committed many, many sins, working up to various levels of the mob. He was tried and convicted, served 8 years in prison, and he said a pivotal time in his life was when that prison guard gave him a Bible. For 29 months in solitary confinement, Michael said it was just him and God, and he had to actually think about his life. He had to think about what the Bible actually said. He had to think about the judgment he deserved and the punishment that was coming for him. And now Michael, mob boss turned preacher, interesting, is now saying we need to think about that too. We need to talk about wrath. We need to warn people of what's coming. Otherwise, people will live like me and just go through life thinking as long as I make money, as long as I'm happy, as long as I get my way, I'm fine. And Michael says, let's talk about wrath a little more. Psalm 76. Surely your wrath against men brings you praise, and the survivors of your wrath are restrained. God's wrath is healthy for me. It's hard to say that out loud, especially whenever there's evil punished or difficult things in my life, or when I'm punished for what I have done wrong. It's hard to say wrath is evil, wrath is good for me. I'd rather say wrath is evil. But surely your wrath against men brings you praise. Praise that even though he punishes at a time, he doesn't punish in full. Praise that we have deserved eternal wrath and should already be damned, and yet we have life and breath and a future. Praise that we are survivors of that because his wrath was poured out on Christ on the cross, his eternal damning wrath. And we have a hope in heaven. There is something in a world that just wants to muddy God and have some kind of Christianity speak along with meditation and yoga and crystal and all this other stuff. There is something about God's wrath that it is on Christ. It deserves to be on me. And as a survivor of that wrath by faith, I have a different outlook. I have a different life. I have a different purpose. A mob boss gets it. I get it. I pray you get it too.